Hey everyone, it's Ben. Had the intro go a little longer than usual because Karen's getting ready. She'll be down in about 5 minutes. Yeah. So yesterday we moved ourselves in our basement over here so it wouldn't be junky next to us. We had to have somebody come over and help move stuff. So we were over there against that wall, and you could see that way. And this way is only like, I don't know, 15 feet. Yeah, like the wall behind me is like 5 feet behind me, and the wall in front of me is about 9 feet in front of me. Something like that. But this way, where you saw the room days ago, that's more like 50 feet. Yeah, so this is the short way. And we'll put something back here, and we're probably going to change the color of the paneling. I don't know if that's by paint or just getting something new. That's a Karen thing. Got to get the kitchen redone first. But anyway, the lighting's better, and it's more room for us, and it's not junky behind us. 400 centidues from Xenoid. 200 centidues from Grungewort. We need one more scented. Oh, the hype train did start. We must have had something happen because it's on level 2. Catamine 1 subscribed with Prime. And we must have had a fourth thing or it wouldn't be on 2. Oh, maybe it would. I don't know. Let's see what Dashboard has to say. Catamine. Let's see. Big Daddy gave 1 bit. Enzi and Hero. Hirio Cheerios gifted a sub. And IB Kasparov has subscribed with Prime. Yeah, if you subscribe with Prime or regular, I get the same amount of money. And then Donald Essence. I have to go back, sorry. Oh, Devoid Essence. I thought it was like Donald Pleasance, but I'm getting confused. Devoid Essence. No, I'm willing to bet money. Thanks for the 10 subs. Devoid Essence, if you could respond to this in the chat. I'm willing to bet money one of his favorite movies, if not his favorite movie, is Doctor Strangelove. He's supposed to be like, what's Doctor Strangelove? Never heard of it. That's the right response. Da-da. Da-da-da. Yeah, thanks, Enzian. You're the best hero. Did you ever know that you're my hero? That's right, fluids. That's right, fraudulent means. Yeah. Oh, sorry. What's Dr. Strangelove? Very good. Good answer. Thanks to Void Essence. If you've never seen Dr. Strangelove and you're like over the age of 18, I mean, you probably have, but okay. Then you should see it. Then you'll know why I thought that was your favorite movie. Yay, 222 viewers. That's good, because I like that number. This is Jeopardy, right? Yes. What's Dr. Strangelove? Who is Dr. Strangelove? Yeah. I think Peter Sellers played 4 parts in that movie. He played like the lieutenant under the crazy guy. Then he was Dr. Strangelove. And then he was also the president of the U.S. And I think he had a 4th. I thought he played 4 parts. Maybe he only played 3. I haven't seen the movie in like 15 years, so I can't remember anything. Well, that's good. Under 1,300 Karpov. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of things that you guys will never understand, ever, is how great Peter Sellers was. Now, if you want to know how great Peter Sellers was, I got to easy. No problem. Okay? You don't have to watch all his movies. You don't have to read critiques. You don't have to listen to me. I'm going to hook you up. Watch any movie where he's Inspector Clouseau. I don't care which one. Just watch anyone. Okay? And then when you're done, watch Steve Martin when he's Inspector Clouseau. Then you'll write a letter to Steve Martin telling him, like, are you kidding? What's happening? Yeah, then you'll understand. Yeah. Peter Sellers, the best. Sterling Hayden was great. As you all know, except for one thing, Sterling Hayden not only was in Doctor Strangelove, he's in 100 movies. He's also the police captain in Godfather and or Godfather 2. I can't tell them apart. He's the guy who punches Al Pacino, and then Al Pacino, shoots them in the, in the restaurant later. That's the same guy, the tall captain. Stand him up for me. Bam. Yeah, just the 3 roles? Okay. Yeah. Steve Martin's good at the banjo. Huh. Yeah, but he's the police captain that gets shot and then he has to go to Sicily or wherever he went. Captain McAllister, that's right. Yeah. Being There is an amazing movie. There's a big argument on the internets and not on the internets about, because there's 2 versions, the one at the end where they show the nonsense and one where they don't. And I like when they show the nonsense, but some people get pretty mad. So there's a version where at the end credits, when they're showing the credits, they show Peter Sellers acting like silly, like outtakes or just him being silly. And it shows you the difference of him being silly and the character. But some people don't like that. They just want to see the credits and the movie's over. I don't know. I don't really care. Right. No. The most amazing scene in Being There, for me, is when the hoodlums come up to him and start talking about drug deals and stuff, and he takes the remote control off and tries to change the channel. That's I gotta carry a remote control around with me, so if anybody talks to me and I want to talk to, I'll just push the button. Yeah, there's a gun hole at the top of his head. Probably the actor was fine, but yeah. If you want to, this isn't related. If you want to see a great movie, this has nothing to do with what we're talking about. I just thought of it for some reason. If you want to see a great movie that you haven't seen, you're welcome, by the way. Strangers on a Train. If you haven't seen Strangers on a Train, then see that. You're welcome. Alec Baldwin wasn't around yet. That's pretty good. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You've seen Strangers on a Train, but it wasn't a movie. That's right. I'll analyze my games with the engine with an engine. It's funny how Stockfish doesn't like some of Komodo's moves because Komodo's trying to play the move that gives me trouble, as opposed to these are 4 moves. They're about the same. It picks one of the 4 and says, ha-ha, Ben will blunder with that one. And Stockfish just analyzes the game and says, oh, that move's better than that. So the first 3 games, Stockfish says I played better than Komodo. Right? It doesn't know who we are, but it says that I played better. Because it doesn't like some of Komodo's choices, because those aren't number 1. I don't know what depth Komodo's playing at when it's playing 3-2. Obviously, if I'm thinking about my moves a long time, that helps it. The move that I thought about longest, I think, in the whole match, I think this was my longest think. I'm not sure. That was my worst move. It's Karen. I think that was the worst move I made in the whole match, was the move I thought longest about. Because when you think a long time, that means you don't know what you're doing. So I thought a long time, and then I didn't know what I was doing. Impalu subscribed at Tier 1. Thank you. The B-52 pilot, but couldn't get the accent right, so went to Slim Pickens. That's right. Slim Pickens did a good job. Yeah. Right, sweetie? We're talking about Dr. Strangelove, because the guy's name was some kind of essence. Devoid Essence? Yeah. That was his name? So I asked if you liked Dr. Strangelove.
All right.
You saw Dr. Strangelove?
No.
Oh. That's a great movie. Yeah. We were talking about Being There, the movie. Did you see Being There? Peter Sellers? Yeah.
A long time ago, yes.
Yeah.
How's everybody doing?
Did you ever see Strangers on a Train? Hitchcock?
Yeah.
I told him to see that out of the blue just for no reason. I said, see that. I think the reason is like we're talking about Sterling Hayden before. I think somebody in that movie who's an actor, their name is Sterling or Hayden. I think that's why. Maybe. I made it up. I don't know. Robert Walker, I think, is the bad guy. Now, that's a bad guy. What's happening?
Nothing, just refreshing.
Always refresh. I turned the lights on, then I made that one like a little blue. And then they told me I was old. No, they didn't do that.
Probably fine.
Yeah.
It's a work in progress.
Headley, what are you worried about? This is 1876. You can sue her.
See how the lights sort of do
Yeah. It was worse before I made it like that.
Yeah, that's no good. So I don't know why it's doing that.
Maybe that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe the lights are on more. I don't know. It's got to be that or that, right?
Was it doing that before?
No, it's got to be one of these two lights. Because that's, unless somebody like pulled the thing up and now it's, like somebody came down here and.
Yeah, let me see the mouse for a second.
I already know what she's going to do. I already did that.
I'm just looking. Doing anything.
Yeah, I know what you're going to do.
It has nothing to do with the white balance.
See? White balance. She said it. And also, don't trust Whitey. Brightness is the top one. Exposure, -6. Whoa, that is exposure. Make sure you donate while Karen's fooling around here.
Yeah, I don't really know why it's doing that.
And I was fooling around with Karen before you were born.
Well,
I never know if I like Vertigo or the other movie better. What's the other movie?
I don't know.
Rear Window. What's better? Discuss.
I like Rear Window way better.
I think Vertigo's considered a better movie by critics, but I think Rear Window's more fun to watch. Vertigo's not too fun. Vertigo's like, all right, I gotta like pay attention, and it's, it's dramatic. And Rear Window's like, that's fun, even though everybody's killing everybody. Still fun.
Is Kim Novak? She's the one in Vertigo.
And North by Northwest is great. One of the famous bloopers in North by Northwest is when there's a shooting in the restaurant lodge. A kid puts his fingers in his ears before the shooting because he did it too early. So, truth hurts. Yeah, I like North by Northwest a lot. There was a theater in Detroit called the Redford. You could argue it was in Redford, but it was in Detroit. And they would show once a week old movies, and they would have intermission, and they would play an organ at intermission. There was this big organ there. And then intermission, you go to the bathroom or get food or whatever. And they only showed movies from like 40s, 50s, 60s, 30s. So I saw North by Northwest there when I was a kid on the big screen. That was great. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'll have to look into that problem.
No, I don't bet on football. I don't bet on nothing. Just Karen. If you want to see Rear Window, but it's too long for you, which it is, because, you guys, there's a Simpsons episode where it's Rear Window. So you can just see that. Yeah, Bart has to stay inside, and he has binoculars, and he's looking at Flanders, and he thinks Flanders killed his wife, and so forth. Yeah. And so on.
Hey, scoot over just a tiny bit. Like about 5 inches.
That way?
6 inches.
Or the other way? You mean this way?
Yeah.
Tell me.
Well, I mean, that was obvious.
Nope. Nothing's obvious. Man, the Michigan Theater, I think there was a Michigan Theater, and then there wasn't, and then there was again. Wasn't that called the Maine? Not the Michigan Theater. It's called the Maine Theater, right? Maybe it was called the Michigan Theater. I think there was a theater, then there wasn't, then there was again. That's right. MacGuffin is good. Yeah. Do you know what the MacGuffin is? Hitchcock invented the term, but what does it mean?
Oh, what does MacGuffin mean?
Yeah. And the word MacGuffin you can see when we go to Tara. cinema. The
Yeah,
word MacGuffins on the
I
wall.
forgot what it means.
It's things that only the characters care about, but you don't. They're important to the characters, but they have nothing to do with anything.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just like, what if Joey calls me? And then they're like, oh no. And then, okay, Joey didn't call me. Good. Like, you didn't care about that. That was a bad example, but you get it.
You mean extraneous details?
Yeah, it's details that only the characters care about.
But do they become important at all to the story?
For the characters, they do. But I don't know. I'm just explaining it wrong. But don't forget it. Yeah. Did we see Rope? We saw, we were watching Hitchcock movies about a year ago. We just kept watching them.
Well, yeah, we saw a few. I don't remember seeing that.
Yeah, and then she was watching, like, when I met her or after I met her or before. Nobody knows. She was watching, who's the guy? Goodfellas, Casino. Who's that guy?
De Niro? Oh, Scorsese?
Yeah, she was watching Scorsese films like that, son. You've seen like 10 Scorsese films at least.
Yeah, I saw a few. I didn't see it all or anything.
Yeah. Somebody noted on the internet today, I don't know if this is true, but it sounded like it was true, that Joe Pesci won an Academy Award for Goodfellas, but didn't win one for Casino. And somebody said, wasn't that the exact same thing? Truth hurts.
MacGuffin is something everyone is fighting over. Could be anything.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like that Holy Grail in Indiana Jones. That's a good example of a MacGuffin. Nobody cares about the Holy Grail except for the characters.
So, Bonarici, is Letters of Transit considered a MacGuffin from Casablanca? If it is, then I know what it is. All they ever talked about was Letters of Transit. That was it. And then I don't know, nobody knew what that was, but it was good. It was the way you could get off, Morocco and go back to the U.S. The box in Pulp Fiction, exactly. Yeah, the suitcase in Pulp Fiction, that's a good MacGuffin. It's very important, that suitcase, to the characters. Oh, and it's shiny. Yeah. All right, let's talk about chess, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the blood. Oh,
so I may not stay for the whole thing, but because I have to go to a birthday party.
The Kane and Citizen Kane. Very good, Niels George.
But I'll stay here for most of it.
That's a joke from, I think, The Simpsons, I think. When they're at some, like, famous restaurant that has, like, articles from Hollywood. And they're like, there's the Kane from Citizen Kane. He's like, there was no Kane. Moving on.
Yeah, it's not my birthday, but thank you. I'm going to a birthday party for a friend of ours.
If only it was Karen, then...
Yeah, then we
just happy birthday, Karen. Yeah.
Kelly.
Yeah.
Close,
yeah. It was a sled. Okay? I just saved you 2 boobless hours. That was Peter. All right. Okay, so this is what happened in the match, and we're going to go over each game. The first 3 games, Stockfish says I played better than perfect. No mistakes, no inaccuracies, no missed wins, no blunders. And it gives you a number, like the caps number, which is irrelevant. And that caps number is 93.4 for me and 89.8 for the opponent. This was the first game, which we're going to look at now. I made 47 best moves, and Komodo made 38. And I made 33 excellent moves, and Komodo made 42. I made 3 good moves. Komodo made 2. This says Komodo made an inaccuracy, and I didn't make any inaccuracies, mistakes, blunders, or missed wins. Smooth, one player took the advantage and never let go. So Magnus was pretty upset at this game because I won in a very smooth way. Yeah. And after I won that game, Karen was, she was pretty excited, and she said something else is going to be smooth tonight. Oh, snap. What is this, like, Vidid and Mama Jara? You're all banned. Okay. And Karen's also banned because she's on her phone. All right.
I'm looking at the line.
So I played the French, and he played D3, which I think is an excellent move to try to keep the game where the game... Basically, the engine wants the game to go 100,000 moves. Then I'll lose on time and I'll blunder. So the more pieces we trade, that's not good. So the engine got exactly what it wanted. It got this like sort of blocked position. And I had this position against the engine later, and it played G3, but we'll look at that later. Okay, and now we sort of transposed. And I played F5. And here, the engine played knight G5, if I remember. Yeah. And when I played the engine again, it played knight H4, so I assume they modified it between games. Or even during games, because they got other people there probably. So here he played knight G5 attacking this, but I saw it. And I defended. And this knight B6 move, and Karen was telling me this earlier. I had forgotten. Karen's like, don't they play knight B6 in the Caro-Kann after knight G5? And I was like, oh yeah, for the same reason. Okay, so in this position, okay, assuming that white has a knight here, isn't the case.
Man, they're loud.
Yeah, okay. Now this position is 100 trillion Grandmaster games with the knight here. And white's threatening, knight takes F7, king takes F7, queen takes E6, Papa John's. And then to continue would be king here, bishop check, king here, queen H3 mate. So the move that black plays here in every Grandmaster game is knight B6. Because I want the two bishops, what else? And I defend my E6 pawn. That's the main reason, is you don't want, don't want to get hurt there. So I play knight B6 for the same reason here, because he's attacking my E pawn, and my knight's blocking my bishop, so I get out the way. Now, I didn't want to play knight B6 because I was intending to play B6, bishop B7, which I did in the other game in this line. So I thought about playing queen E7, but I thought I was blocking my bishop, and, this is slow, and so forth. I just played knight B6. Okay, Stockfish says knight B6 is best. The second best move you'll appreciate, because always retreat. This is what Stockfish says is the second best move. Then I could later play B6, bishop A6, I guess, Spencer style. Okay, he played C3, which is excellent. I want to play D4 and knight D5 and bishop B7. But now if I play D4, C4, he moves the other pawn and blocks it up. Okay, so bishop E7, good move. Put it in H. I took, which isn't the best move, but it is the best move. If you're playing an engine, and the engine's 5, 6, 7, 8, 900 points better than you, and you're up a piece, that's the best move. Okay, but an engine wouldn't play it. The engine wouldn't go here because other moves get a higher number score, which doesn't matter to me.
Is it better because you're just trying to trade off?
Yeah, you want to get rid of this knight because that's annoying. And if you play H6, you get crushed. So like the whole game, you're like, okay, what can this knight do? I can't be thinking about that. The other reason is I wanted to castle queenside. So I want to move my queen and my bishop. So I was like, okay, this gives my queen the E7 square. Bishop D7, castles, I'm up a piece. Also, I put all his pawns on dark squares, and his bishop here doesn't look so good. It's not, he's not attacking me. Mm-hmm. I think one of the things you need to do when you're playing the engine is get rid of its knights. Because I know where the bishop is going. I can see where the bishops go. I'm not worried about that. The knights, however, are trickier because when they move, they can go to 8 different squares. So if it's calculation, I might make a mistake against a knight, but against the bishop, I won't. Then it's a blocked position. The engine wants a blocked position, which is a weird thing to say, because it wants the game to go 90 moves. So that way I make 20 blunders out of 90 moves. If the game is open and we trade everything and we get to an ending, I just win. So by making the game never end, which is what Kasparov did against Karpov in the match where Kasparov needed to win game 24 to tie the match, if you remember that, which you don't. They played 5 matches. So he played like a ready, and Karpov wasn't ready. Right, sweetie? Okay. All right, so he played B3, and I changed my mind here. I was going to play bishop D7 and castle, and I was like, I don't want my bishop here, and I started crying. I was like, I want to play b6, bishop, b7. So I was like, all right. And then I did what I said I would do. Okay. He checked me. If I play g6, he takes it. So, because the pin, right, sweetie? Mm-hmm. Right. So I played king d8, because king d8, king c7 is equivalent to queenside castling. Center's close. I don't care that my king is here. All right. So I'm still up 5, 4, whatever, 3, 2, 1. The only way I won't win this game is not going to be because I blunder, because you can't blunder here. The way I'm not going to win is I can't win. It's too blocked. And that was the problem I had in every game was if it's open and there's tactics, I'm going to lose. If it's blocked, I won't lose, but how do I win? Because if it's all blocked, I can't win. But I'm up a piece, so at least I won't lose. All right, king f2, just these, and I played d4 because I wanted the b4 square. He has to play c4. Otherwise, I get like every square from my piece. Especially d5. I want my knight to go to d5. But he played here, so I can't go anywhere. All right, and I get b4 for my knight. So I played here first in case I sack a piece. And my king is tucked away. I can open up the f file. And if I do play king b8 and tuck away, obviously my rook can't be on a8. He played king e2 because, get off of that. And I played a5 because I thought, well, I'll just win on the king side and the queen side's over and this bishop is dead. So I've killed all of his pieces. He can't do anything. And the only way I won't win is if I can't do anything. And I thought, if I can do anything, I still can. That was good English, right? Because my king can hide somewhere here, and then I can sack on e5 or here, and even though I'm sacking a piece, I'll get 2 pawns for the piece, so I'm up 2 pawns, and it's not blocked anymore. So imagine my king's on a7, and I play knight takes, pawn takes, knight takes, move my knight back, e5, the game's over. So if I can't break through over here, I can still sack a piece and break through. And my knight has the b4 square, my bishop has this, and these bishops are shallow and pedantic. Okay, so he didn't like my bishop, but I like trading, obviously. But he didn't like the fact that my bishop was better than his. Okay, so I have 2 knights, and he has a bishop that can't ever do anything ever. But if he wants to trade, that's good because that gives me an opportunity to take this way and get my knight to c5, another good square. Also gets rid of his pieces. So here I sacrificed a pawn because then I get the d4 square and the d file, and he has no pieces left. So if he goes takes, and let's say he takes, my knight has here, and I can triple on the d file. My knight has here, and ridiculous. I was going to play knight b8 to c6, rook d8, and he's completely dead. So he realized that. So he played queen f3. And I put my knight on g4. The reason I played knight g4 was the main way I want to win the game. You play to win the game. You play to win the game. That was Herman Edwards, the Jets coach. Famous speech. Okay. So if I play h6 in many positions and he's already doubled up on the bubble up, I'm sacking a pawn. Now when I play h6, I am not sacking a pawn because my knight's on g4. Now, Karen, what would Lisa Simpson say about that?
I'm not going to know Lisa Simpson.
No, I say it a lot. It's one of my things.
I know.
A blockaded bishop is of little value, but I think you're talking about a pawn. She's talking about.
I'm not ever going to remember The Simpsons.
Well, you have to remember a blockaded bishop. Hey, it's Spencer's exclam Lisa, and that happened.
Oh, that's hey, I didn't delete it.
Yeah, that's
that
funny.
means I did recognize it has some importance, even though it says of little value.
Right. Okay. Okay, so now, if I ever play h6, it's defended forever. So I got my h6. I'm ready. Okay, he's just making random moves, h6. Now, I expected him to double up on the bubble up. Then I can't take this pawn because my rook's hanging. So then I would play something like queen e8, so I triple up, and then I can take. But he played g6, keeping it closed, and I said, thank you for the pawn. Right? So this is the worst position anybody's ever had, ever. So just watching this game, you would think computers just can't give a knight to somebody, or I'm the greatest player ever. Probably they're both true. The better you are at chess, the more you hate white's position. You hate it. So if you hate white's position more than anything you've ever seen in your life, then you're getting better at chess. If you're like, I don't know, it's all blocked up, your knights can't do anything, white probably has drawing chances, then, maybe chess isn't your game. What should they do if chess isn't their game? They should have a spelling contest.
Okay.
No. That guy said he'll take white. Yeah, Fortnite.
Checkers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's a spelling contest. Jules cheat. The engine's trying to win, and what it's doing is it's trying to make problems for me. So if it says 3 moves that are approximately equal, it's going to pick the one it thinks. And by the way, I'm an atheist, but now we can talk about God for about 5 minutes. If an engine is playing 3,500 strength, and it's playing a human, and then the concept of God is playing a human, and God's not cheating, because God could cheat. He could be like, know what I'm thinking, and then, he'd be like, oh, Ben's thinking this because I'm God. No cheating. God can't cheat. But what God knows is he looks all the way to the end in every variation, all the way to the end, and then he's like, yeah, Finegold's pretty stupid, so I think this is the right line. And that's what they want Komodo to do. They want Komodo to look as far as it can and say, yeah, okay, that guy's an idiot, let's go here. And when I analyze the game with an engine like Stockfish, it doesn't do that. Stockfish says, this is the best. And this is the problem computers have, in my opinion, is they're not setting the most problems, because when they play each other, that's not a good way to play. Now, if I'm playing a 1500, me, and I'm playing a slow game, and somebody who's sort of a wild and crazy player who's 2200 is playing the same 1500 player, if I said 1500, the 2200 is going to win more quickly, because they're going to play wild and crazy. The 1500 is going to furrow his brow in a vain attempt to understand the situation and lose in 15 moves. I play like the engine, not as good as the engine. I play the best move, the best move, the best move, the best move, and then I always win. And the 2200 player wins quicker, but I don't care about that. I don't care if I win in 20 moves or 80 moves. I win. So I win 100 out of 100, and that guy only wins 95-5, because in 5 of his crazy nonsense, he loses. The other 95, he wins in 20 minutes, and I win in 3 hours. So I try to play like the computer, and if I play like the computer, I said then nobody will ever beat me. But if I have a losing position against somebody who's like 1700, then I play differently. Then I'm like, all right, this causes him problems. So Komodo is playing the best move and causing me problems. This is they set it to do that. So it's not going to play the number one move all the time. If every move loses, playing something that's minus 4.7 isn't necessarily better than something that's minus 5.2. It could be that one of them's better because I have the tree of winning, the path is c'est pas difficile. I mean, c'est difficile. Oui? Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, français, c'est difficile pour moi. Right, like Hans Niemann. So Hans Niemann is going to beat 2200s like that, son. But when he plays 2800s and 2700s, and most 26, they're going to beat him like that because he plays wild and crazy, and they're better than him. But if he's better than you, then you get the smackdown. And you'll notice the best players in the world typically are very boring because they want to minimize mistakes. And if you minimize mistakes, you don't lose, but you don't win as much. If you play like Mikhail Tal, you win and lose a lot. Unless you are tall, then you calculate all the way to the end, and then you're Kasparov. It's a good story.
I think your desktop sounds aren't working.
What's not working?
I haven't been hearing the desktop sounds.
You mean when I make a move?
That, and also when something happens.
All right,
Like,
let me make a move.
Sure. Okay, I did hear that.
Yeah.
I didn't think I heard trying to learn sub, but maybe.
I thought I heard everything, so I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it just says it's trying to learn. Maybe he just it doesn't make a noise when he does it because he's trying to learn. Yeah. And so forth.
Hey, Boris, how's it going?
The top players in the world who play crazy, like Mamedyarov and Dubov, Jobava, etc., they play a controlled crazy. Now, when you play an uncontrolled crazy, like Jobava, then you go from 27-24 FIDE to 25-75 FIDE, which is what happened. Mm-hmm. God damn. Okay, also kids, say no to drugs. All right, Metashay subscribed, and so forth. Yeah, by the way, I've had this conversation with Karen and Spencer before. Probably Karen doesn't know because she tunes me out. But I don't know who's better or who's who. Or is it who's whom? Rapport and Duda. They're the same person to me. And then when I look on the rating list, they're like always next to each other. That confuses me. And so when Duda won the World Cup, like it was over. But then Rapport started winning tournaments. And Rapport's higher rated than Duda. Then they played in round 1. And Duda won, so now the argument's over. Mm-hmm. The next 2 games, Duda drew, and Rapport won both of his games, including Queen H1 today. God damn! Rapport played the greatest move ever today.
And he was playing...
He was playing Niels Grandelius. Mm. Yeah. Who almost doesn't belong in the tournament. And by almost, I mean he doesn't belong in the tournament. Okay.
How's he doing?
He's in last. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's fighting with Levy for last. And they're different tournaments. Levy lost last night.
Oh, did?
Or this morning. I don't know when they played round 8. Whenever he played round 8. It could have been this. It could have been this morning. Could have been last night. I don't know. So he had 2 out of 8.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, I want to see a match between Rapport and Duda just so I know who they are. I want to know the difference. I mean, one's Hungarian and one's Polish, but still.
What was Levy's position in his tournament?
On last.
He was last.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Okay. Now, to be fair to Levy, which I don't like to do, he is the lowest rated player. So, lowest rated player coming in last isn't the shock of the century. Also, he lost confidence after he was losing. When you lose 1, 2, or 3 games in a row, it's easy to go on a landslide, Stevie Nicks style, not Smashing Pumpkin style.
Mm-hmm. I didn't see his tweets, Joe. They made you feel bad for him?
Yeah, but I cheered him up in the tweets. Rapport looks like Kurt Cobain. Kurt Cobain's dead and rather pungent. Okay. Anyway, we'll continue. I tried to trade queens, but trying is the first step to failure.
I forgot about the game.
Right. Okay, I finally played G5. I got my rooks defended, my pawns defended, I got the diagonal, the bishop is dead, etc. Rook H5, takes, check. The engine likes knight E3 check a lot. It's like, could you take that? That way his bishop's gone. I have rook G4. I have the D4 square. And he's like, no, I need my bishop. It's the only piece I have. And then he finally took. F4 is good. I thought F4 was bad, but the engine says it's great. And I got my queen in there. So I sacrificed a pawn, but my king is safe. It's very, very open now, so I can use my extra piece. And I have 3 threats. 1 for each of them. That's a lot of threats. So I sacked a pawn so I could get rid of all of his pieces and threaten everything. So I'm plus 7.5. Put it in H. Rook H1. H4. Yeah, now Queen G4 is an excellent move. And probably I shouldn't have played H4, but that's just from a human perspective. The engine says it's fine. And I don't want him to do that. You agree. And I don't want him to do that. Okay, so I played queen check. And now the engine move is the complicated knight takes E5. And the reason is, this is actually very funny. After check, attacking everything. Right, sweetie?
Mm-hmm.
How do I save everything? I save everything.
Let's see.
Your first move was right, NJ Crispy, but your LOL, that added a lot. Thank you. That's from an Aaron Rodgers commercial for State Farm.
Yeah. How do you save everything?
Mm-hmm. I'm in check, and this is hanging, and this is hanging. Always.
Well, you can't really go there.
Always play King B1. Oh wait, that's not the always.
I'm sorry, I still see it.
Here, always retreat.
Oh.
That's pretty cool, right?
Oh yeah.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, so the engine wants me to do that. Now I'm not doing that because I'm afraid a queen takes e6. And the engine's like, why are you afraid of that? But okay, I'm not letting him play queen takes e6. Okay, so I play queen e4, attacking his rook, right? And then I went to touch the rook, and I was like, ow, because it was on fire. The rook is on fire. Then he played rook h2, putting it in h. And I'm like, would you like to trade queens? And it said no talking. Now it wants to play queen d6. I missed queen d1. And I was like, no, he's going to check me. So I didn't let him check me. That was funny. And then I played, after rook here, queen here, I got everything taken care of. This is defended 700 times. Queen d6 is prevented. This is defended twice. And I'm still up a piece, this time for no pawns. Then I wanted my knight on c6 and d4 and b4, so I played here finally. You'll see knight d7 to b8 in like the Slav a lot. And you'll see knight c6 to b8 to d7 in the Breyer-Rulli Lopez. And if you don't like that, if that's not a variation you approve of, knight b8 to d7, you can actually play the Haagen-Dazs-Rulli Lopez. Oh.
I don't know what that is.
Instead of the Breyer.
Oh, okay.
Huh. Thanks, Steve Condi.
Yay, thank you, Steve Condi.
Okay. And then wrap. Okay, now the engine went crazy because, like, I'm going to win. Like, it can't do anything. I stopped all counterplay, so it's like, all right, let's make it hard for Ben. Okay, that's the engine move. They can't pin my knight because, you know. Yeah, now it's just playing crazy. Traded queens. And there was a funny line that I looked at, which I talked about during the thing. When I play queen d4, now here's a question. This is all I ever thought about during every game. What move am I afraid of? What move would white play that would concern you?
In this position?
Yeah, and notice his queen's hanging. So yeah. If he does this, I'm not concerned. I'm you know, ebullient and ebullient and effusive. Thanks, Ryan C.
Well, that f5 pawn is a little...
No, but the queen's hanging.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So what move...
So I guess it has to be a queen move.
Right. What queen move scares you? Like, oh, no. Then you start crying. When I started playing Komodo, I was crying like a pussy.
Queen,
yeah.
Queen G8?
Correct.
Yeah.
And you know I wasn't afraid of that? Because I saw forced mate for me. And when I saw forced mate for me, I was less afraid of that. Okay, so I can go check, and it has one legal move.
Rook A2.
And then I go check, and it has one legal move.
Let's see. One legal move. I don't see a way to take the knight.
This way. But the pawns are going that way.
I confused me, yeah.
Now I have mate in one. What's funny about this mate in one is it doesn't matter which way the pawns are going.
Queen C3?
Mate, yeah.
So,
So I wasn't worried about queen G8 because I made it.
So you mentioned like earlier in the game that there was a slight difference in the opening. So do you think that's because they made a change, or is just
Yeah, I think they did. Yeah.
some randomness?
Yeah. I think they made a change. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so now it's just silly. So I think all the moves are so bad that it just makes a random legal move. It's like that's plus 50 for him, that's plus 50 for him, and just like, all right, here's a legal move. Like the moves don't make any sense now because it doesn't matter anymore.
I'm paying attention, Benjamin. I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'll pay better attention.
And then Komodo knew my name was the Lord when I laid my vengeance upon it. Now let me ask you a serious question in the chat. When this game started, if you were watching live or you're just seeing it for the first time, did you expect in the final position I would be up 2 queens, a rook, and a knight? Is that what you expected? The answer is fries.
What is the epaulette mate?
So let's say there's a king here, and let's say there's 2 rooks here that are white, so the king can't move sideways. And let's say there's 2 pawns here. So it's like, white castled, and then put a white rook here too. So white pawn, white rook, white rook. Then anything here is mate, a rook or a queen on any of these squares. So you see how that's mate? Because the king can't go anywhere.
Right.
So that would be that.
Well, they said nice epaulette mate.
That's not no. Ridiculous. Yeah. Oh, they said I didn't do well. 3 queens is expected.
Oh, the rooks are kind of like, am I saying that right? Epaulettes.
In that scenario, the shoulder thingy, I don't know about that. By the way, this is very true. If you have chess terms like names of openings, names of tactics like skewer, if you're like, what's that called? You don't ask the grandmaster. That's the last person you ask. You ask somebody between 1900 and 2400. Because we don't care about that. That's stuff you guys care about. We don't know.
Well, you knew.
No, I wouldn't. This has nothing to do with that for me. Like nothing.
You knew what it was.
Yeah, of course.
You did know the term.
Yeah, but like barely. Yeah, but doesn't mean my explanation was correct.
I did predict 4-2 Jow.
Yeah, and so.
I was correct.
And you were fortuitous when I was 3-0. You were like, uh-oh.
I thought I was wrong at that point. I thought, he's going to win all his games.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I wanted to talk to you guys about the match, not just, like, the moves. The problem with playing a computer, that's good, which they all are now, is you can't play chess the way you normally play. So when I play you guys, right, which you'll notice, like, on Sunday when I played you, I don't care about anything. I don't care if I hang my queen. I don't care if I have no time, because I know I'm going to win, right? You guys blunder every move, and you don't even know what's going on, and you disconnect by accident, whatever. You guys are going to lose. You guys know what you're doing. You guys have lost before, and you're going to lose again, right? It's sort of like the Cowboys and the Raiders, the Lions, and the Jacksonville. They just lose. And as soon as you think, like, now they won't lose, then you're wrong, right? They're going to lose.
There's my brother.
Where?
Showing up to make trouble.
Yeah, where?
Right here.
Right there. Sounds like Karen's brother. Yeah. Okay. So losers lose. That's what they do. If you don't want to be a loser, what movie should you see? It's on the wall here.
I don't know.
It's on the wall.
Just tell me.
The Hustler.
Okay.
Yeah, because
I haven't seen that.
What? Because you have to see that because he explains why Minnesota Fats is a winner and why Fast Eddie's a loser.
True Grit.
He explains it. Okay. So when you play the engine does nothing wrong ever. And if you do anything when I play you guys, occasionally I'll make a move, and by occasionally, like that's like occasionally Karen texts Naroditsky. That's the kind of occasionally I'm talking about.
Hey, Bowler.
So occasionally, if I make a mistake against you guys, it's less than 50-50 you'll punish me. less than 50-50. I'll hang a knight. I'll hang a queen. I'll even say I hung my queen, but he won't see it. And then they don't see it and everybody laughs. If I play the engine, I can't do anything wrong ever. So I'm in a totally different mindset. And so when I'm 3-0, probably I'm the favorite. But if we played one game a day, maybe I would go 6-0, maybe. But playing 6 games where your opponent plays perfect every move, I mean, and I'm like an old man, so, I'm supposed to play perfect 6 games in a row? I can't play perfect 1 game in a row, but I can play good enough to win up a night. But if my opponent's playing perfect every move 6 games in a row, I might make a mistake. And according to the engines, the first 3 games I did nothing wrong. I made 1 inaccuracy in game 3, and that was it. So out of like 270 moves, I made 1 move that wasn't quite good enough. But in the other games, I was making mistakes and blunders because, I'm old. And so after you think, and you're getting all this pressure put on you. And the only thing I don't really know, I haven't played like in Vicons AA where everybody's 2,700. So I don't know what it's like to lose 3 games in a row and your next opponent's Magnus. Like, I don't know what, but that's going to happen in Vicons A. You're like, oh man, I keep losing. Who am I playing next round? Black against Magnus? So it's hard playing the engine. It's hard.
Hey, by the way, Vanquisher said to tell you VC Flight said hello. What about VC Flight's mom? Mm-hmm. Now, what's going on, Vanquisher?
She says hello a lot, but you can't tell Karen about that. Shh.
You must be VC Flight. That's the conclusion I've come to, Vanquisher.
Okay, so anyway, this game, I played, I'm trying to be serious chess, and Karen's always telling jokes.
That was a joke. I thought you were done with that game.
Right, that was a joke because you're serious and I tell jokes. That was a joke. Okay, so that game, it claims Stockfish 12. I played 93.4 and Komodo played 89.8. Probably Stockfish is just dissing Komodo. It probably played like 99.8. It's like 89.8. You suck. Probably.
I was just waiting on a chance to interject something. Mm-hmm. So I did remember that from 30 minutes ago.
VC Flight's mom is the best username. That's true. Yeah.
Well, why is it that I never see VC Flight Vanquisher?
Probably his mom took away the credit. 15-minute, 10-second increment. Yeah, that's so Stockfish. All right, next game. This is game 2. The engine says, the Stockfish 12, I played 92.6, and he played 89.3. I played 52 best moves, 37 excellent moves, and 4 good moves. Now, I'd like to point out, if you're playing somebody on the internet and it says they played 52 best moves, 37 excellent, and 4 good, with no inaccuracies, mistakes, or blunders, they're cheating. It's 100% they're cheating. But somehow I wasn't cheating. I don't understand it. The first 3 games, when I analyzed with Stockfish, I played way better than I thought I did. I couldn't believe how... Now, obviously, as I've pointed out earlier, when you play somebody rated 500 and they're playing like a 500, they're like, here's a piece, here's a crook, here's a queen. It's easy to play 99. You're just taking their pieces. When you play Magnus, it's easy to play like 12 because he puts a lot of pressure on you and he makes a lot of threats. You don't see them. So if I'm up a piece and most of my moves are winning, then I'm gonna play pretty well. So that's why I get such a good score. Also, I didn't get my GM title in the mail, although I did.
Hey, Spencer, are you going to that birthday party?
Spencer says Komodo might have been cheating. Oh.
No, he asked.
Man, look at XQC, 100,000. 100,000 viewers, everybody's got him. I wonder if he lives in Miami. Wow. Did you get any of that? The Miami? Mm-mm. Oh, so I never realized how terrible Will Smith was. And then, Karen thinks not much of him. And then I was like, hey, you're right. His singing's terrible, his music's terrible, and his acting's terrible. I never realized that. I always thought he was okay. But anyway, and all the music and all of his songs are stolen. There's no music. By the way, I want to say, though, I'm serious, too.
Yeah.
I think he was good on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I think he did a good job.
The show was dumb.
No, it is, but I think he did a good job. Like, he did the best he could. And to prove he's not the worst actor ever, there's a few episodes, unfortunately, where DJ Jazzy Jeff is on. If I said, Heron, I want you to go on this TV show and I want you to be called the worst actor of all time, like try to, you're not worse than DJ Jazzy Jeff. You're not. I don't even know how. I don't understand it. That's the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen. And I've seen a lot of things. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So Will Smith has this song where he stole from another song. And he says, he's talking about, it's Miami. Like, go to Miami. Miami's great. And one of them is $100,000 cars. Everybody's got them.
How do you know all these bad songs?
I know everything by everybody. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think you've listened to the radio a lot more than I have. I've always just listened to my own music.
You have to spell happiness with 2 S's and the I is a Y. That's the joke. Somebody pointed out to me, possibly you, but somebody did. I don't think it was you. I think it was before you. I think it was somebody like 10, 20, 30 years ago. They said, Will Smith always has to be like the good guy and a good person and the hero. He won't make a movie where he does anything else. I don't know if that's true, but it sounds true. Like, Will Smith, you're the bad guy and you're going to do this. He'll be like, no, I'm not taking that role. I'm not an actor. I'm a good guy. Yeah.
He doesn't ever blend into a role. It's always Will Smith playing some guy.
Will Smith will make a great villain? I don't know about that. I don't know, maybe. Also, who's older, me or Will Smith?
Yeah, Will Smith sucks.
Who's older, me or Will Smith? I think he is.
I don't know.
I think he is. Hey, Siri. Also, there's a baseball player named Will Smith. There's 2 of them. Hey, Siri, how old is Will Smith? Baseball. I mean, not baseball. That's a stupid idiot. Hey, Siri, how old is Will Smith, the actor, the thespian?
Will Smith is 53 years old.
Yeah, I'm 52. So I knew he was older. I knew it, even when I didn't know it. I didn't see Hancock because I don't see his movies. Denzel Washington's the greatest actor ever. If you want to see Denzel Washington before he was famous, there's a movie called Carbon Copy. It might have been his first movie. George Segal's the star, and he plays George Segal's illegitimate son, and so on.
Yeah, I like Pacino, De Niro, or
Very
Tom
old
Hardy,
movie.
especially De Niro.
Yeah, De Niro's good.
De Niro, I love De Niro.
Yeah, Tom Hardy. I mean, the other guys are better than Tom Hardy. Now, Pacino, okay, in the 70s and 80s, nobody's better than Pacino. However, the last 10 years, Pacino just like screams all the time. Like, all he does is scream. Like, if he's in a movie, he's screaming. And then I'm like, all right, I heard you scream already.
Yeah, I thought Denzel was good in Training Day.
Yeah, he was great. Yeah.
Yeah, he was pretty good. Yeah, I think he's good.
Old Man Yells at Cloud, yeah. Yeah, Training Day was good. That's right, Denzel Washington was a doctor in St. Elsewhere. How do I know everything?
I think Denzel got an Oscar. Maybe he won for Training Day. Which was a little surprising.
And I think the other guy was up for Best Supporting, Ethan Hawke. But he didn't win, unless he did.
Oh, okay. I can't remember whether he won.
Lawrence Fishburne's name is in the credits for Searching for Bobby Fischer is Larry Fishburne. Yeah, but close enough. The Marx Brothers were great actors. I don't know about Zeppo.
Yeah, Anthony Hopkins, that's a good actor.
Right. He's more than good.
Yeah, Sean Penn's pretty good.
He despises Ethan Hawke because when Dante goes out, he thinks everybody's Ethan Hawke. Are you Ethan Hawke? Are you Ethan Hawke? And then they're like, no. Okay, now, Family Guy. All right, next game. You're so next.
I'll probably get to see one more game.
Now, this is actually following the game that Perelstein played. Perelstein also played a match with Komodo in November. Same soup. And after here, Komodo played H3. My preparation for the match, other than, preparation H, obviously, because I'm sitting here for hours, is I watched a video that's 52 minutes long-ish of Perelstein discussing his games, although he didn't discuss 3 of them. But I remember this was one of his games. Okay, so D3 must be the new wrinkle, right? And then, okay, I'm just up a piece, so it's not much to talk about. Okay. And then, he's just chilling. And there was a point in the game where Komodo played D4 against Perlstein, and I was yelling at the TV. Carrie can back me up. I kept yelling at the TV. And I was like, E4. And he's like, I took, but I should have played E4 or something like that. And I was like, why would you take? Okay, so I played E4 before he played D4. Now his bishops, once again, are shallow and pedantic. Now, you don't like Daniel Day-Lewis as much as Spencer, though. Because nobody does.
I don't know.
In fact, Spencer likes Daniel Day-Lewis more than Daniel Day-Lewis does. He's like, come on already. Okay, so now I thought the game was over because I have Connect 4. But then Komodo played here and it was a draw. Because it has Connect 4 also. Now in this position, even though I'm trying to not blunder, I still have to push all my pawns and mate him because that's the position I have. I have a big space advantage on the king side, and I have more pieces than him. His bishop is dead, and when your pawn's on e4, you checkmate your opponent. That's what you do. Okay, so checkmate commenced. I played for attack on the king side. I was really proud of queen d8. I don't care what the engine says. He's attacking my pawn. I don't want to make a weakness. I don't want to sack the pawn. The engine says queen c7, which I don't like because it puts it on the same file as this rook. Okay, it says queen c7 and queen d8 are the same, and this is the same. I'll bet you the engine puts queen d8 first eventually because, I understand chess. I can't calculate, but I understand chess. It says b6, queen d8, and queen c7 are all the same. But I like queen d8. This move creates weaknesses, gives him targets. This move just defends my pawn, and my queen is really safe. So you're playing an engine, this is clearly the best move. Okay, he's trying to get play on the queen side, but trying is the first step to failure. Took with the bishop to activate his bishop. I defended my b pawn, my only weakness. Queen d7, excellent. Always play bishop f1. I want to trade pieces. And he said no. Now, he doesn't want to play c5, but he doesn't want to trade pieces. There's no pieces on the board. I'll win because I'm up a piece. So this is the kind of move that Stockfish 12 would go, boo. That's a bad move. It is a bad move. But it's the move that gives me the most problems because there's the most pieces on the board. Although actually Stockfish 5 now says this is the best move. Or Stockfish 12. What's with the 5? Okay, so time to checkmate him. Okay, and I got to checkmate him. And I remember I was thinking about playing g5, but I was worried about g3. Because then whichever pawn I push, he pushes the other one. I just played h4, so he couldn't do that. Okay, I defended my pawn. That's his only thing he can attack. Now he just moved around aimlessly because he can't do anything. I want to play f5, so I played knight here. And then I played f5. And then I put my knight back on f6 because I want to play g4. And I did a really good job stopping counterplay. And Komodo did a good job of trying to get counterplay. Pretty good. Okay, f4. Good. Rook b4. Yeah, I have this defended 1 billion times. Pawn, bishop, knight. And if he takes it, we open up, my rook and my knight. So he just chills. Rook b4. Now, rook b4 isn't actually a chilling move, although it is pretty scary. If he ever does take, he doesn't want me to do this, right? So it undefends this, but since it's it's chilling, it's a small price to pay. Thank you.
So you're saying
Chilled.
the move rook b4 was so that all that wouldn't happen?
Yeah, that way if these things ever go away, I can't take that.
Okay.
He's just he's protecting his a pawn too.
Okay.
Yeah. Get my Vincent Price joke?
No.
His movies are chilling and thrilling. It's a chiller. It's a thriller.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I've seen a Vincent Price.
He's been in like 1,000 movies.
I'm sure that I've seen
Yeah.
some, but I can't think of
What about the song Thriller by Michael Jackson? That's him talking at the end.
Oh, yeah.
No. Don't know who Vincent Price is? Big money, big money. 999. $10. Thank you, King of Frittatas. I got the Queen of Tatas right here, but King Frittatas is also good because you love Tata Steel so much. See? Huh? Yeah, we should have another train, by the way, also. I don't know who Vincent Price is. You know the song Thriller by Michael Jackson? Do you know every movie made between 1940 and 1965? Did you ever watch The Simpsons, the Super Bowl episode, when Marge and Lisa play the Vincent Price game and they call because there's a piece missing? Come on.
But what's one of his movies? I'm sure.
Well, nobody knows that. They're all like horror movies.
Yeah, but I think.
Well, then they're 75 years old. Should I call my mom? She'll name Vincent Price movies one after another.
She probably would.
Anything from the 30s, 40s, or 50s, my mom and those movies are like, that, son. Yeah. How you never heard of Vincent Price? What do you guys do all day? Oh, you play video games. That's right. Okay. Now, it looks good, right?
Edward Scissorhands?
Yeah, you know, they're crazy. He's probably dead when that happened.
The Fly. All right, I'm sorry. Back to the game. Now, what? What was the last thing you said?
I said, see, I'm doing good.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So I play Queen E7, which does nothing. Why did I play Queen E7? Oh, I know why I played Queen E7. I couldn't figure it out because I'm so good I can remember what I was thinking. Ready? If I want to go forward, what move do I play?
If you want to go forward.
Yeah, go forward with the pawns. What move?
With the pawns, okay.
Yep. Go forward.
Let me look. I got it. I got the right direction.
This can't move. This can't move. This can't move.
You can move your F pawn.
Good. Or
the G pawn.
right. So I want to go there, right?
All right.
If I go there, which pawns does that weaken? Which pawns are not defended as much what they were?
Well, the H and the F pawn.
Right. And the F pawn's already defended a little bit.
The knight.
H pawn's not defended at all. So that's why I play Queen E7. Now if it goes G4 takes, Knight takes, I'm defending the H pawn.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not as bad as everybody said I was. See Carlson? See Naka? Well, okay, maybe. Best movie all time. Should we ban him for such a terrible opinion?
I haven't seen Dodgeball, but I'm sure it's not good.
Is it the best movie of all time? Man, harsh. It's funny. Vincent Vaughn's not good. However.
That's right. He had a little cat there.
However.
He's joking.
Vincent Vaughn's really good in Curb. He is. He's really good. So there you go. Maybe he is good and we don't know it. S. Spencer. Vincent Vaughn's great in Curb. Sorry. Vince McMahon, Karen's never heard of him.
I have.
You've heard of Vince McMahon?
He's a wrestling. Isn't he the wrestling
How do you
guy?
have you heard of him?
I've been to wrestling.
Yeah, that's true.
I used to watch wrestling.
No, Vince Vaughn is normally terrible, but he's really good in Curb. Yeah, I don't know why he's good in Curb. He just is. Yeah, well, Ben Stiller's never good. Ben Stiller, which makes no sense, was good in Curb. I think he played himself, and he's like a jerk. So perfect.
Wrestling, that's right.
Perfect.
I went to some recordings.
Now the wrestling.
TBS,
let me tell you about wrestling.
Turner, TBS downtown,
Yeah.
like around Midtown.
I must have saw you then on those things.
I went there for one of the recordings.
Like in the 80s?
Late 80s.
Yeah, I probably saw you. Now in St. Louis, where the chess club is, you know the Chase Hotel? They changed names,
Yes.
but okay. They used to have wrestling there in the 70s.
Oh, really?
And big wrestling. All the big wrestlers went there and wrestled. Yeah. And you know who told me that? Who from the chess club would know that and tell me? Pretty easy, I think. No, I think it's pretty easy.
Mike Hummer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike Hummer. Yeah, Mike Hummer's all over that. Yeah. Best Harvey Keitel role? I haven't seen all of his movies. So I don't know. I'll just say Reservoir Dogs because I got to say something. Okay. All right, continue. Rook B3.
I'm not a Mel Gibson fan.
Now watch this. Rook G7. That way I defend this more. Right? I don't. This is my only weak point. I'm not in a hurry to go here. I can do whatever I want. So, I was talking to Bobby Brown, and I said, should I do this or should I do that? And he said it was my prerogative. I could do what I want to do. Yeah. And then he went off and did cocaine. So I don't know. That's what he wanted to do. Okay.
Yeah.
Rook A3. You see how he's doing nothing? Queen F7. I wanted to play Knight H5. And I did. See, I told you. And then I was really mad when he played here because I didn't see it. So I wanted to play G4, and I'm controlling it twice if I do. Then I played here, giving up control. And this is a good bishop now. So I was really, 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 really mad at myself when I went here. Mm-hmm. And here's why. I want to go here and kick him out, but he has bishop here check, and I can't kick him out. Then I wanted to go here to stop bishop F5 check, and then play here, but then my knight's not defended because I played here and here.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like really mad at myself now for playing Knight H5. Okay, so I took, which is okay because now my knight's going to get in somewhere. Somewhere. Depends which way he takes, but it's coming, right? And not only is it coming, but I showed this to the two brothers, right? And they said, "Oh, that's a different joke." Yeah, that's the jelly, not jelly. That's the turbulent juice. Is it turbulent juice or is it the two brothers?
Isn't that a
Where's Spencer?
song?
Turbulent juice? Yeah, okay. Thanks, Spence. Yeah. What is this a commercial for? All right. Sex sells. Sex sells what? What is that? Okay. So then I got my knight in. See, good. I got two knights, one for each of them. Queen G1. All right. Nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. All right. And finally, I did something. So I attacked his rook. You agree. And I'm attacking this. Now, I can't really take this because if I go take, my knight's hanging. So I have to prepare a little. But he sacked the exchange anyway because always sack the exchange. That way the position opens up a little bit. So for his bishops. So he's down a rook, but that's being down a piece or a rook doesn't really matter. Okay, now he played here because his pawn's attacked. Doesn't want my rook to get active. Then I defended my pawn. He doesn't want to trade and take the pawn because he's trading. So he didn't. Yeah. And now here, King H6, defending my pawn. And the main reason I played King H6 was if the bishop ever moves, I don't want his queen to come in here. Thanks, whatever that is. Thanks. I want to defend this and this.
Laxarex.
Right. Now, he has a white squared bishop and I don't. Mm-hmm. But I have a dark squared bishop. So I want my king in a dark square. That way this can't attack me. And I defend this square twice. So if his bishop ever moves, I can safely do something with my knight and I'm not worried about queen here check. And I'm defending this pawn, which was could be attacked if I move my knight. And I'm off the white square. I wonder what the engine says. It says I'm the... Wow, look at that. Look. Ah, it went away. Okay, it's back. King H6, number one engine move. Now, in what place is that the number one move?
I don't know what you mean in what place.
In the hood. That's number one in the hood, G. Okay. It's a reference to a cartoon nobody watches. Mm. Now we're going to see four people that'll be like, oh my God, that's my favorite cartoon. Really? By four. Oh man, you never talked about that. Yeah, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, obviously. That's Karen's favorite show because she's heard of it. You see, Aqua Teen is awesome. Yeah, that guy said four.
I've barely heard of the mainstream ones.
Yeah. Good show, good show. You know who likes that show is Giannis, which I wouldn't have expected. Yeah. Okay. Barry H. Chess, subscribe. Good, good. That's the show with Meatwad? Yes. I don't watch the show because I'm a vegan. Mm-hmm. The best thing about that show, because I'm not a big fan of that show, is the song at the beginning. I like that. Yeah.
Why don't you play Komodo without the handicap?
Man, there's so many comebacks, but I'm trying to be nice this year. Oh, if you knew the comebacks I was thinking of. Yeah. I'm thinking about whether I should say one of my comebacks that I'm not going to say. What do you think?
Probably not. I mean, he can't play he's not going to beat the engine.
All right.
And so none of the GMs play at full strength.
My best comeback I had like 7. My number, I have them listed in my head, which I'm not going to say. But the number 1 was, why don't you stop raping your mother? But I didn't say that because she told me not to. That was the number 1 comeback for why don't you do this?
Yeah, you don't want to get in trouble.
No, I would never get in trouble. That's if I was going to say something. I didn't say that.
You didn't.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Okay, so the actual answer, the correct answer was, if I play Komodo with no odds, I would lose 1,000,000 out of 1,000,000. I would never draw, especially in 15-10. Now, if I have white every game and it's like 40 moves in 2 hours and game in 1 hour, I'd probably draw like 1 out of 100. If I'm white every game and it's really slow, I might get half out of 100. Maybe. But in 15-10, I would get 0 out of 1,000,000. I would never draw with white. Never. And the top players in the world don't play engines because it's not competitive. If somebody who's top 5 in the world plays a match with the engine, you don't want to see that. Yeah. Night odds makes the game close. Now, I believe, unless I'm wrong, I'm not wrong, Komodo played a match with I am Andras Toth. He's like a famous internet YouTube person, maybe, and he didn't do well against Komodo with night odds. No, he didn't do well. Okay. So, yeah. But seriously, I want to be serious. Stop raping your mother. Stop it. Okay, so he played Queen E1. I played Queen E7.
Yeah. Hey, Blueberry Onions, how's it going?
Now, my only piece that's not doing anything is the rook on A7. Mm-hmm. So let's get it going. Let's get that rook in the game. Yeah, and I was like, take my rook. I dare you. I double dare you. And then the engine typed, do they speak English and what? And then Komodo said, what ain't no country I ever heard of? That actually happened. No, I would never beat it with pawn odds in 15-10. Never. Come on, hype train's close. We need 10 seconds. We need something to happen. Boo. Okay, so I sack the exchange because even when I'm playing the engine, I always sack the exchange. That gets rid of some of his pieces. Yay, Grunge War, too late. Thanks. Oh, wait, it wasn't too late. It was the last second. Okay, now I sacked the exchange, which got rid of his only good piece, his white squared bishop. His white square bishop was the greatest piece ever, right? See, should I make that joke? I don't like that joke. Okay, I didn't make that joke.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was going to say, I thought Karen was the best piece ever, but it's that bishop. So now I'm threatening mate, and I was like, don't see mate. But it was Komodo, so I wasn't really saying that. Okay, so Komodo played F3, and that's when I knew I was going to win. Thanks, Mark. L or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7.
Yay, thank you, Mark.
Doesn't look like a 1, does it? Looks like an L or an I.
Yeah, I think it's an L.
Yeah.
Markle.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Markle.
I don't remember what the joke was, Vanquisher, but I do know what you're talking about. Hey, I have 666 viewers. I'm the best.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that.
Yeah. So now I knew I would win because he played F3. Hooray. Now he's attacking this. His first threat of the game. Oh, well. Yeah. Okay, now the game, for all practical purposes, ended. This pawn's really good. This knight's really good. This rook's really good. And if it was my move, I said if, I could play bishop takes pawn, bishop takes rook e2, followed by god damn, and then I checkmate it. After rook e2, I'm threatening this. You agree. Mm-hmm. I'm threatening this. You agree. And you don't see pins, so you won't agree I'm threatening that. But if you saw pins, you'd be like, oh, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he's like, all right, let's take this and get rid of the threats. Okay, now there's nothing happening. Like now it's 100% I win. because there's nothing
I
going
see
on.
pins when they're pointed out to me.
Yeah, I'm kidding. Yeah, and then I took everything. And then once again, I'm up 1 billion pieces. Yeah. You know what's funny is the first game, I didn't know this until right now. The first game, yay, Spenson's the gifted 5 subs.
What?
Yeah.
Thank you, Spencer.
The first game, I had 2 queens, a rook, and a knight. And this game, I had 2 queens and a rook. So Komodo's doing better. Now I have a serious question. Did you think before the match that the result of the first 2 games would be me mating it with 2 queens, a rook, and a knight, and 2 queens and a rook?
I didn't know what to expect, but I thought you would win.
The answer is fries. Yeah. Man, XQC 111,000 viewers. Damn, I almost want to watch now.
He's just chatting.
I know, that's funny.
I am having a beer. I'm about to go to a party, a birthday party.
Is Karen having a beer?
I have to leave in about 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Did you assume the engine's gender? I did.
If there had been a rook or bishop odds, would the outcome have been vastly different?
The only way to know is to play it again with the same financial considerations, and we'll do that. I would win. I don't know if I would win by a bigger score or if I'd win 3.5, 2.5 or the same. I don't know. When I play blitz chess and I'm playing somebody lower than me, I prefer to spot them a rook than a minor piece. Because you need those minor pieces to get some action going. Rooks are good at the end game. So in the opening and middle game, I'm not being harassed by the computer's minor pieces because he doesn't have any. So, no, it's not lime. It's just sparkling water. Oh, yeah, Spencer won $5 on his last scratcher. That's right.
That's true.
Yeah, who got him that scratcher? Oh, snap. I like when Karen scratches. I lost a bet in Vegas. I told them you wouldn't scratch me if I said that. Damn, I got to pay them up now.
What? I cut my finger tonight making...
Which finger did you cut? Show that again. Nice.
But I did it... I was... Anyway. I guess I'll take the Band-Aid off.
I should win up a rook and a bishop also, but, it doesn't mean I will. It should be easier for me, in theory.
Is Karen a hostage?
Probably. Butt scratchers! Butt scratcher! That's correct.
The cabbage soup's probably ready by now.
Well, yeah, of course.
But
You're saying we should stop, and I should... Yeah, I think I should stop. I don't want to do a 4-hour stream. I just, I wanted to do like an hour and a half.
well, you can accelerate it for the other games.
No. I'll just have another stream and do more games. I
all
can do 2 games a stream. Yeah, because I want that cabbage soup. Karen makes really good lentil soup, really good cabbage soup, and basically really good anything. But that's what she's making now. So that's what I eat. But it's...
I was gonna make the fried tofu, but I didn't get around to it.
Mm-hmm.
So tomorrow.
The sun will come out tomorrow. Why are you using Komodo Dragon to analyze or Stockfish? Stockfish. I'm just doing it with the chess.com engine, which is Stockfish 12. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have the feeling soup won't be ready for... that must add up to be 4 hours based on how long I stream now. Yeah.
Can you do a 24 hours?
I can, but
stream?
Karen wouldn't let me.
No.
Right. I could, but she wouldn't allow it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Maybe when she goes to West Palm Beach, I can do a 24-hour stream.
Probably not the best.
Yeah. Lobster bisque. Yeah, I asked Karen if I could have some more of that snot soup. What? Lobster bisque. Yeah, I can't have lobster bisque for obvious reasons. The Lakers suck. I've been saying the Lakers suck for like 2 years. And you guys are like the Lakers and you start crying. By the way, I did pick all 5 games this weekend. The football games. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and one of the scores I predicted was 42-7 and it was 42-21. But the 21 that was like, garbage time. So, Yeah. What'd you noted? I don't even know what he said.
I'm just noting it so he's start repeating.
Always repeat? Yeah. Vanquisher 13 never watches my stream, I guess, or forgets he has like Memento or something. I thought 42 was way off.
He is reading. Okay, he's reading.
You mean I'm reading every word in the
Listen,
chat?
You're getting on my nerves. So
Yeah, of course.
You're going to be out now.
Yeah.
And I almost never ban anybody, but goodbye.
Yeah, you got to ban everybody. You were going to get them a sub, man.
Okay, so see you.
Pad, see you? If I banned him, Karen would let him right back in.
No,
Man,
you're
terrible.
banned.
Terrible.
No hope of getting back in.
Damn, no hope?
No.
What if he gets a new handle and you don't know who it is?
Well, that's a hope.
You got a hope.
You could maybe snag, maybe the VC flight mom has come back for circulation.
Thanks, Woo Team. They're nothing to mess with. Woo Team. 90. Yeah. Etc. Am I shocked the Hawks traded Reddish? No. No, the Hawks just playing bad. Did they lose? They were playing Milwaukee when I came down here. In Atlanta.
Yeah, when your comment's acknowledged, you're lucky it gets acknowledged. We get a lot of comments. So then don't go complaining it wasn't acknowleded, in the way you want it to be acknowledged.
That's like what I would say. And then you would be like, oh, be nice.
I am being nice.
See? Okay.
I'm trying to explain, why people get banned.
Shock the Monkey is correct. Nobody's telling me how Atlanta did against Milwaukee. Ugh. Hey Siri, did the Hawks lose to the Bucks? What's word?
The Hawks are on top of the Bucks,
Ooh.
106 to 105.
With 3 minutes to go.
left in the fourth.
Ooh, interesting. The Hawks have lost 10 games in a row at home. The last 10 games at home, the Hawks have lost.
Yeah.
How do you lose 10 games in a row at home? Me and Karen could win a couple games at home. We're at home, right? Play some basketball right here in our home. We'll see how they do.
Yeah,
Well, obviously, Dubov lost because he played F3. That's a 100% true statement, by the way. Played F3, and that was a losing move. In Dubov versus Vidit. Patient Otter gifted a sub. He's paying forward the gift.
I have to go see. I haven't seen that game. I haven't seen.
Hey, he subbed to Serenity Now. What television show?
Seinfeld?
Yeah. And who said Serenity Now?
Maybe George. I can't remember.
It's his dad, and his dad got it from, the other guy. By the way, the guy that he got it from, 2 different actors play that guy in different episodes. True story. What's the guy's name?
I can't remember the episode.
He said Serenity Now. That was Serenity Now. Nut House later. Who was the guy who went to the Nut House? Lloyd Braun. I got it. Lloyd Braun. Yes. I'm a genius. Lloyd Braun did the Serenity Now, and he taught it to George's dad. And then George's dad would say Serenity Now. Yeah, Lloyd Braun. I did it. All right, who are we rating, Karen? Is anybody doing chess or just me? Let's rate the one under me.
Let me see.
Let's rate her.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because, something.
Yeah.
I can't spell or I typo a lot.
Bye,
I
everybody.
don't think I spelled or typoed.
Have a great evening.
Yeah, I didn't do nothing wrong. Have a good bishop and have a good night. But mainly, fries. And one last thing. Tomorrow I'll be on Chess TV, and I want to tell you